All right, got all the plastic removed, so I wanted to give you guys a quick walkthrough, just kind of see a little more behind the scenes before we start ripping stuff off. So for the back liners here, you can see kind of learned as I went here, made a couple modifications just to clear the top right there where that rear crossover tube goes. Also been experimenting with some sound insulation just to try to remove some of the drone. Front panels, no modifications there, just all of your standard pop together Chevy crap. And then there you can see kind of that panel on the back that covers the turbos removed. So just something quick and easy just to hide it and make it look a little bit better. All right, so starting at the back, you can see both turbos there. So laid them out kind of side by side. Down pipes then meet in the middle. Did the bullet mufflers just to quiet it down, and then that's just straight out the turbos, and they helped quiet it down a little bit. Compressor side, I go to the other side and you see the air filters. You can see what kind of crosses through. Goes right there behind the reverse light, and fits pretty nicely. So my sump box, they are both water cooled and oil lubricated. So I got the oil feed coming in. Might not be able to see it until I remove the down pipes and everything, but a lot of the pipes are on the top. I made a little heat shield. Haven't had any issues with that. Comes down into the top, and then the bottom side tees in for both the oil return and the water return. So basically just running a little Bosch intercooler pump, same thing you'd have like on a Ford Lightning. All right, sorry, I got a call on my other phone there while I was doing that. So we talked about the coolant and oil. So yeah, I mentioned I had to put a sump box there. Couple things I had to fix for that. So this is a dry sump car. It holds 12 quarts of oil, and I was getting kind of a gravity drain back effect over like 3 or 4 days, and it was starting to come out my compressors before I ended up buttoning everything else up. So basically what I did is I used a high crack pressure check valve on the feed coming to the front, and then on the back I just got another check valve so that it doesn't come back from the return line. And then it's just a Turbo Works pump that's just kind of on when the car's on. It's worked great, no issues there. So on the cold side, these weren't nearly as clean as I was hoping to see. I think I'm probably going to do some type of baffle just to kind of protect the wheel face of the filter. It's not as bad as it looks based on all the crap that came out of the fenders, but definitely want to do something to improve that. The nice thing is you can take those off and slide them out without taking the fender liners out. So I can clean them. And again, it's probably got 2,000-3,000 miles on it. So a lot of crap. And I have driven this in the rain and leaves and everything. So, but we'll work on doing something better there. So you can see the crossover then from the compressor. I didn't get mirrored compressor housing. So one of them goes down, one of them goes up. But basically that just crosses right behind the filter. Was a little bit tight back there, but I have a full 2-inch on both turbos, which is at least the same size as the compressor outlet. So I know you have a lot of tubing. Ideally it would be bigger, but you only have so much space. Did have to modify the brackets there that just attach kind of the fender to the rear buckets. So just made something quick and easy, a little L bracket. Gave me a little more space there in the front. These cross over. So this is actually factory as part of the NVH packet. It is a trash bag full of noise foam, which I actually opened and removed some of the foam to give me a little more room, zip tied it back. But basically you can see where I just had to kind of cross over that pipe and go down in front. That kind of came loose as I was moving my fender liner, but it seals up, stock location, everything. It's tight, but it does fit. Again, a little bit more noise insulation. And then I probably see better from the front. Actually, if this thing's loose, can I just... Okay, kind of... So we got one hand here. So you got 2-inch dead shot right down the rocker panel. There was a pinch weld I had to trim down. It's excess material. You can see it better on my cart. Didn't have to kind of trim into the weld, so I don't think there was really any structural integrity lost there. But that allowed that full 2-inch to go down through the side. And you can see the front. Had to kind of dogleg it to clear my oil sump tank since this is a dry sump car. When When I take the fenders off, you'll see that a little bit better. But that's what ends up crossing over here. Then into the front side, you can see pretty much a just straight shot after the headlight down into the side of the intercooler there. And not much different on the other side, but just if you're thinking about doing this, we'll quickly go over so you can kind of see. So washer bottle on this side, pushed that out a little bit, and I just took kind of that gill cover off. Doesn't really do much, haven't had any more dirt or anything, but basically it just means you can see my washer bottle and that pipe through my side panel there, even when it's buttoned up. Still running the washer bottle, looking at doing 85. I know a lot of the guys remove that for methanol, but drive us on the street a bunch, like having the washer bottle, gonna try to keep it. So that just comes up, crosses over. Same thing, you have to trim a lot of that panel. I did reinforce it with a L bracket. Not my best work, but you can see it's epoxied in there. It's a 3M panel bonder. It's pretty stout stuff, good for composites and aluminum. I just made a little L bracket to kind of reinforce this because you do cut through it. It does hold the weight of your bumper. I was really trying to keep that bottom member, but just where that tube wanted to be, without modifying it at least, had to go through there. So that's what I did on the front side. This side, same thing, pretty much mirrored. Shape's slightly different. Packed it there the best I could. You have your gas filler on this side, so I had to clear that a little bit at the top, which made the angle come down a little bit more, but overall, same story. And then there's my wiring for my current fuel pump, running a JMS booster pump. Had a pressure switch originally mounted right there before I had the standalone max ECU. And basically just did a boost trigger switch. Works okay, but it's a lot nicer controlled with a 0 to 5 volt output from the computer. And that's been working okay, but I'm dropping to about 50 PSI under 10 pounds of boost. Want to do heads and cam next, and definitely don't have any more fuel, so that's why we're starting this and dropping it down next.